Hi guys, we're going to pick up with Act 2 in this video. We started talking about this in class, but I wanted to make a video for it. So when we left our heroes at the end of Act 1, Romeo and Juliet have already fallen in love at first sight, and they realize that they are from different warring families. And Romeo leaves the party. So when they get outside, Romeo runs off by himself. And, Benvolio and Mercutio, they've seen this before, and they think, he's just in love with another girl. This happens every week. They're like, listen, he gets like this. Just let him go. But we get the sense that this is a little different this time. And he says, Romeo, my cousin Romeo, Romeo. And he says to the other boys, come, he hath hid himself among these trees to be consorted with the humorous night. Blind is his love, and best befits the dark. And he yells to him, Romeo, good night. I'll to my truckle bed. This field bed is too cold for me to sleep. Come, shall we go? So they've seen this before. They're like, let him be. He'll be back later. Benvolio and Mercutio leave Romeo to his love. Now, as I said in class, this is one of the most famous scenes in all of literature. Those edges of the stages are called Juliets because that's where they would set up the veranda, the window for Romeo to come call up to. The play's been performed millions of times. And he sneaks up. He just wants to see Juliet one more time. Just wants to see her face or even her silhouette. And he sees the light in her room. And he says, but soft what light through yonder window breaks. It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon. She speaks. This is the second time he's compared her to the brightest thing. She is the brightest thing in the night, which is usually the moon. And then the moon is beautiful. And then in the morning, the sun kills the envious moon. The moon is still there. You just can't see it because the sun is brighter than the moon. And this is what he compares Juliet to, the sun, right? That she is the light in his life, that she is the sun in the east, okay, as it rises in the morning. And now she does not know he's there. She's out on the veranda, and she's thinking of him. And he hears her from down below. She says, again, very famous lines, O Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name, or if thou wilt not be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet. She says, tell me you love me. Right? Deny your father, refuse your name Montague, and tell me you love me. But if you won't, I won't be a Capulet anymore. And she says, 'tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's Montague? It is nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be some other name. So she's 13, but she's very mature. She realizes the silliness of this, that they are just they can't be together because of their family feud, which they don't even know what it's about. And she says, what is in a name? That which we call a rose by any other word would smell as sweet. Now he calls up to her, and there's been many jokes made about this scene. Like he scares her, and she's like, "Oh my God, what are you doing there?" But he calls up and he says, "I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth, I never will be Romeo." He says, "I believe you. Just tell me you love me, and I won't be Romeo anymore. I'll be whoever you want me to be." And then she does. She professes her love for him. She says, my bounty is as boundless as the sea. My love is deep. The more I give thee, the more I have, for both are infinite. The nurse calls, Juliet. And she says, I hear some noise within. Dear love, adieu. And then she's smart, though. She knows how Romeo is. She knows he's a player. And she says, if that thy bend of love be honorable, thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow, 1,000 times good night. She's like, listen, you're all hot and bothered right now. You're all cranked up. Go home, sleep on it. If you still feel this way tomorrow, give me a call, okay? Text me. And he says, good night, parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow. And he's like, oh, I will. My love's for reals. So he goes off saying it's sweet sorrow to part. Like it's sweet because he's in love, but he's sad he's to leave her. And Romeo departs to find the friar and arrange his marriage to Juliet. So now he's been up all night. It's day, and it's very early. It's like very early in the morning. And he says, good morrow, father. And Friar Lawrence says, what early tongue so sweet saluteth me? Thy earliness doth me assure Romeo hath not been in bed tonight. Like he knows Romeo's deal. He's not a get up at the crack of dawn kind of guy. He's a stay out all night partying and get up at the crack of noon kind of guy. So he's like, the fact that you're up so early tells me you've been up all night. He's wearing the same clothes as yesterday, So Romeo's like, that last is true. The sweeter rest was mine. Then plainly know my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. I'll tell thee as we pass, but this I pray, that thou consent to marry us today. And Friar Lawrence, he says, listen, I want you to marry us. And Friar Lawrence has known them both since they were baptized. He says, I'll thy assistant be, for this alliance may so happy prove to turn your household's rancor to pure love. Right? He says, this is great. You'll get married, and then your families will have to stop their stupid feud because their kids will be married. This is great. But we know it's a Shakespearean tragedy, not a everything works out okay. So meanwhile, Benvolio and Mercutio receive a letter that will change everything. Tybalt, remember Tybalt was all angry, flipping over buffet tables and storming out? He has challenged Romeo to a duel, and you had to accept a duel or you would be shamed, right? So Tybalt, the kingsman to old Capulet, has sent a letter to his father's house. A challenge on my life. Romeo will answer it. So he challenges. He's basically like wants to fight them all. He challenges. He's like, Mercutio, Benvolio, Romeo, I want a piece of all y'all's. So Juliet, meanwhile, has sent her nurse to seek out Romeo to find out if his love is true. So even though she played it cool last night, she's like, nurse, go find out if he likes me. So the nurse says, gentlemen, can any of you tell me where I may find the young Romeo? If you be he, sir, desire some confidence with you. My young lady bid me inquire you out. So she wants to know, like, hey, are you for real or what? And he says, nurse, commend me to thy lady and mistress. Bid her devise some means to come to Shrift this afternoon, and there she shall at Friar Lawrence's cell be shrived and married. He's like, oh, I'm for reals. In fact, I'm going to marry her at Friar Lawrence's cell today. How's that for real? And she's like, oh my God, I'll go tell her. So Juliet waits impatiently for the nurse's arrival. The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Oh, she is lame. She's like, I sent her to find out if he likes me. She's still not back. It's 9 o'clock. Something must have happened to her. Oh my God. And then the nurse shows up and she says, she comes. Oh, honey nurse, what news? Hast thou met with him? Good nurse, speak. And she says, hie you hence to Friar Lawrence's cell. There stays a husband to make you a wife. And she's like, hie to high fortune, honest nurse, farewell. She's so happy. She's going to go get married to Romeo, her love. Oh, it's so nice. Dun, dun, dun. Romeo and Friar Lawrence wait for Juliet. So smile the heavens upon this holy act. Amen, amen. Here comes the lady. It's beautiful, and she's beautiful, and he's handsome, and Friar Lawrence, they're so happy, it's so romantic. Come with me, and we'll make short work, for by your leaves you shall not stay alone till Holy Church incorporate 2 in 1. And they get married, and Romeo and Juliet are secretly married. They elope. And it's so romantic, and the audience loves it, and they love each other, and everything's going to turn out okay. But it's Shakespeare, and bad things are afoot. And then we will get into Act 3, where things take a very dark turn for the worse. Okay, I will stop my recording there, and that's it.